Strat-O-Matic Excel Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Troller. 1972 to 1975.
Game 171, Royals at White Sox.
Welcome back, baseball fans. 1972-75 carryover league. We got a best-of-7 series today in the American League Midwest between the Kansas City Royals and the Chicago White Sox. I'm just going to go right into this because it's a long one, folks. Really long here. Series opened up in Chicago. Game 1, Larry Gura versus Bart Johnson. In this, the White Sox get a 2-run homer by Dick Allen. It's 2-zip. Top of the 5th inning, John Mayberry, 2-run homer, tied at 2. Bottom of the 5th, a 2-out, 2-run single by clutch hitter Luis Aparicio. At least he seems to be a clutch hitter, even though we don't have that rule in this timeline. But 4-2. Unfortunately, the White Sox give the lead right back in the 6th inning. It's 4 singles by the Royals. It's 4-4. This thing would go extra innings. Gura's final line was 7 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs. Bart Johnson was real shaky today, but got out of a lot of jams. 5 2/3, 11 hits and 4 runs. The White Sox, in theory, and it's true, they do have a deeper bullpen than the Kansas City. A lot deeper and a lot better bullpen. But in this particular case, Horacio Pena throws 3 scoreless innings. The White Sox have Lemons, Garman, and Forster. 2 of those guys are left-handed, so they match up nicely. And the wild card, of course, is Rich Gossage, who can close out a game, of course, but also pitch 4 innings if you need him. In this case, they didn't need him, because after Pena did his 3 innings to wear himself out, they went straight to their closer, Doug Bird, because the other 2 guys, Gogolewski and Horner, aren't particularly good. It was a walk and a single, runners on the corners, 2 outs, infield up, but finally, Bucky Dent gets a single off the Doug Bird card on homer on 4-4. So instead of it being a walk-off 3-run homer in extra innings, it's a bloop single in extra innings. It took 11 innings. So hard for the White Sox this year. They have a very difficult schedule. They win in extra innings in Game 1, 5-4. Game number 2. It's not going to get any easier here. When you see this color, it means it goes extra innings again, so let's just get there, all right? Marty Patton versus Tom Bradley, and they both did well to start. They went Patton 7 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs. Bradley 7 1/3, 6 hits and a run. Now, in this particular situation, Pena is not available. So they go with Joe Horner, who's really bad, but he gets through a scoreless inning in the 9th. Then they go to long reliever Bill Gogolewski, who's not very good at all. He's got an ERA above 4. He throws 4 scoreless innings of relief. Meanwhile, Forster pitched a lot yesterday, so he's not going to pitch, or nor Lemons. It is Rich Gossage. We want him to pitch his 4 innings. He comes in here in the 8th inning, bailing out Dave Lemons, who walked 3 guys. Gossage did what he's supposed to do. 4 scoreless innings, actually 3 2/3, 3 hits, a walk, and 6 Ks. But the game goes deeper than that. It goes 13. So now Gossage is gone. Pena is unavailable. Gogolewski's maxed out. Horner's not back. We're down to Doug Bird for the Royals, and the White Sox might have to dip in a Stan Bonson out of the rotation to finish this thing. It doesn't matter because, once again, Doug Bird can't finish an inning of relief against the White Sox. He gives up a single, and this time Luis Aparicio rolls homer, fly ball the rest. But as you know, fly ball the rest is a sac fly. With less than 2 outs, it's a sac fly, and the White Sox win this game very similar to the first game. 4-3. It is really taxing on the White Sox to get a victory this year. I'm telling you, folks. But they have a trump card, and that is Wilbur Wood can pitch on 2 days rest. So instead of pitching Game 4, the White Sox are going to move Wilbur up to Game 3 to pitch on 2 days rest to give his bullpen a break as the series goes to Kansas City. Oh boy, let's see what happens. Game number 3. It is Wilbur Wood, but he's facing Paul Splittorff, and the White Sox really needed to get this win. They could not do it. Bottom of the second inning, Otis walks, steals, scores on a Bob Oliver single, 1-0. They get a homer out of Otis in the fourth, 2-0, but it's the White Sox offense handcuffed by Paul Splittorff. They get a couple doubles and a run in the seventh, but with runner in scoring position and 2 outs, this time Bucky Dent cannot get the hit. Wilbur Wood does what he's required to do. Get a complete game, 8 innings, 7 hits, the 2 runs. Only 1 was earned because Otis got the third after that stolen base on a throw in a center field on a T rating. But it's Paul Splittorff. He simply outdid Wilbur Wood on this day. 9 innings, 6 hits and a run, 5 walks, 3 strikeouts in a complete game. And boy, that's the one the White Sox really wanted to go up 3-0 in this series. They didn't get, because now the tables are going to be turned. The White Sox used a lot of resources to get the first 2 wins, and they used up Wilbur Wood. And now we've got some problems for the White Sox coming on the horizon. Beginning in Game 4, we have Stan Bonson versus Roger Nelson, the ace of the Royals, a starter 9 pitcher with a 2.08 ERA. Well, let's just go right to the stats. Nelson threw a 4-hit shutout, walking 6, though. Bonson was awful. 6 innings, 13 hits, and 7 runs. And then the Royals piled on without mercy off reliever Mike Garman, who was having a halfway decent year. Well, no longer, as Garman can't get anybody out, and he just has to stay out there and finish this mess. Yep, folks, the Kansas City Royals bury and destroy the Chicago White Sox 17-0 in Game 4, humiliating the White Sox. So 4 games in, the White Sox have not caught up any ground in this division. They started this series, I should say, at 500 because they battled. I mean, they're battled and bruised. They had to play Oakland. They had to play Baltimore. And now the White Sox are putting up this formidable, the White Sox, this is their window in 72. The Royals, they're getting into their window as we get closer to 75, 76. And the White Sox, they have got to do something, but there is no gas in the tank in Game 5. The Royals win this one 9-2. In the last 2 games, outscoring the White Sox 26-2. The White Sox humbled. They have their best roster. They have a deeper roster than the Royals. They're just playing terribly. Tom Bradley, if you're not named Wilbur Wood or Bart Johnson, you're pitching like crap. Bart Johnson, 5 innings, 10 hits, 9 runs. They keep having to go into the bullpen to finish games. They're counting the innings pitch of the bullpen to keep everybody fresh is all they're doing. It's not matchup. And Marty Patton gets the victory. Back-to-back complete game for Royal pitchers, keeping Horatio Pena and Doug Bird fresh, the only 2 competent relievers on the Royals. We go back to Chicago today for a Game 6. And it's the same matchup we started with way back in Game 1. Larry Gura and Bart Johnson, a game in Chicago, a very good game that went to extra innings, in which Gura and Bart Johnson lasted into the 7th inning. White Sox absolutely, 100% positively need a good start out of Bart Johnson, or they are in trouble. They're in trouble in a very competitive American League, and in their own division where the Twins and the Brewers are playing well. So even though the White Sox are the most talented team in this division, doesn't matter. You got to win the games. Talent only goes so far. So leading off for Kansas City, Cookie Rojas, 53, rolls back to the mound. George Brett, 34, pops the first. And Lou Piniella, 111, grounds the second. Let me give you the stats for these guys. show you the cards. Larry Gura. He actually was a Yankee in 75. 7-8 with a 3.52 ERA and 151 innings. His card was really bad earlier, his Cub card, I believe, so the Royals improved it to this. And the White Sox, they have Bart Johnson in his best card of 74, 10-4 with a 2.73 ERA and 122 innings. The one thing we notice about this Bart Johnson card, of course, the walks are gone. Not much of a strikeout artist as he once was, because in 122 innings, he's only got 32 walks and 76 strikeouts, a great ratio. But perhaps maybe he's dialed back the fastball just a little bit to get more control. That's what we think anyway. Bottom of the first. White Sox need a big day today, and it begins with Brian Downing leading off with a great on-base percentage. 59, Sky's the center. Louis Aparicio. 2-8, Sky's the center. And with 2 outs, it's Carlos May. 2-7 is a base hit, and I think I know Dick Allen's up, but we're going to be more aggressive and attempt to steal, because they have got to be aggressive and get a W today. But no, he's thrown out stealing. Dick Allen would have struck out on that same dice roll, but whatever. Got to be aggressive. Didn't work out. Top of 2, John Mayberry, 65, rolls to second base. Amos Otis, 68, lines are short. Ed Kirkpatrick, 1-7, single on a 3, lines out. Bottom of 2, here's Dick Allen. 1-11, rolls to short. Ken Henderson, 34, rolls to short. Bill Melton, 46, second X. It's Rojas at 2E15. Makes the play. By the way, I want to really quickly, this really chaps me here. I got to bring up Game 5 again, just real quick. Yeah, I want to show you something in this 9-2 game that was inconsequential. There were moments where this was a game. So, Kansas City's shortstop is Jack Heidemann, who's a 4E19 at short today. White Sox get a guy on, ground ball to Heidemann on the X, double play. Dick Allen single, ground ball to Heidemann on the X, double play. Ground ball to short, Heidemann makes the play. Ground ball to short, Heidemann makes the play. Ground ball to short, Heidemann make the play. That's 5 straight outs on a short X, who's a 4A19, turning 2 double plays in the process. Just can't have that. So, if you believe in incredible luck for Kansas City, that could be the tale. And something's got to change here in Game 6. Top of the third, Fran Healy. 38 is a K. The White Sox do have Wilbur Wood available in Game 7 against Splittorf. It'll be a rematch of that well-pitched game we saw in Game 3. Jim Dwyer, 1-8, and there's the first Royal single, hit of the day. Jack Heidemann, the Gold Glover, 6'11". Left X, out in left field, you have Carlos May, a 3E5. At home, it doesn't matter. It's a 2-base error. Stayed out of the double, converted it to a 2-base error. Second and third for Rojas. I'm bringing it up and field up. Yeah, you just got to play this like it's Game 7 of the World Series here. 3-12, pops a short. And with 2 outs, Brett. 66, skies the right field. Bart Johnson gets out of it. Steve Bry, 56, flies to right. Stinson, 39, Ks. Bucky Dent, 35, walks. Back up top to Brian Downing. 1-7 also walks. Big moment here. Louis Aparicio has had some big 2-out hits for the White Sox over his career. 53 off Gura, first X. Mayberry, a 3-8 at first. But he makes the play. Both teams wasting an opportunity in that inning. A mirror of a game. Fourth inning, Lou Piniella, 4-10. Center X, but you have Ken Henderson out there, makes the catch. Mayberry, 2-5's a single. Amos Otis, 1-3, pops to second. And with 2 outs, it's Ed Kirkpatrick, 47. Base hit off the Bart Johnson card. 2 on, 2 outs, Fran Healy. 2-3, rolls to short. Johnson again, just like his previous start, pitching out of some jams. Bottom of the fourth, but the White Sox, They got to get this thing going. They scored 3 runs in 3 games, and a grand total of 3 games in Kansas City, and they haven't scored today. Carlos May, 5'10", center X, but you got Amos Otis out there, a 1E6 center fielder. Good luck with that. Dick Allen, 2'8", is a K. Ken Henderson, 46, second X. Rojas, a 2E15, makes the play. Go to the 5th. Jim Washer Dwyer, 2'7", is a K. Jack Heidemann, 2'9", base hit. Back up top to a Cookie Rojas. 5'10", catcher's X. Brian Downing's a 2E5. Ground ball C. So there's another in front of the plate. Runner moves on a scoring position for George Brett. Base is open with Piniella behind him. Jeez. Piniella and Brett are mirrors of each other. We'll pitch to him. 39, gets the walk anyway. That's an intentional, unintentional walk. Or an unintentional, intentional walk, whatever you want to say. So you have 2 on, 2 outs, but you got Piniella, a right-handed batter. And here's the pitch. 5'10", catcher's X will not score the run. Innings over, and Bart Johnson is skating away on the thin ice of a new day. 6 base runners stranded. Bottom of the 5th. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
All right, bottom of the 5th. White Sox. The plane's crashing into the mountain. Get something going. Bill Melton. 2-3, flies to right. Steve Bry, 65, a walk. There we go. Bob Stinson, 54, center X. We got Otis, a 1E6 in center. Good. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. That is a 2-base error. So the E5 center fielder makes the error, and he's an E6, which is worse. So they get the error on Otis. Second and third, they're going to bring it up for Bucky Dent. 54, center X again, but they can get a sac fly here. And they do. Fly ball B this time on the 5 center fielder. If you're wondering about if it's the fielding rating or the E rating, a parenthesis indicates E rating. So an E5 center fielder surrenders a sac fly. Tough run for Amos Otis to give up in that situation on back-to-back fly balls. Without a hit, the White Sox have a 1-0 lead. And it's Brian Downing, 58. He pops to short. Well, 1-zip. I don't know how long that's going to last. John Mayberry, 59, short X. Now they have Aparicio at 2 shortstop. Makes the play. Otis, 110's a base hit. Do they steal off of the -1 arm? I don't like to steal with 1 out. Kirkpatrick will swing away. 38 flies to right. You want to steal now? They'll steal. Otis will try and steal to make up for the defensive mistake. He steals second base on a 6. So now you got a runner in scoring position for Fran Healy. 1-8 is a walk. Again, another intentional, unintentional. Jim Dwyer, 2 on, 2 outs. He's a starter 7, Bart Johnson. He's gotten away with 2 base runners in the last couple innings. Can he do the magic trick one more time? The pitch to Jim Dwyer. 56 is a strikeout. Bart Johnson's probably thrown 100 pitches at this point, but he's got a shutout, and it's 1-zip. Bottom of the 6th, Louis Aparicio, 5'12", pitcher. Carlos May, 57, there's a base hit. We're taking off, and we're stealing second base. T rating, it's 11, but he rolled a 15 on the T rating, so he's at second with 1 out. For Dick Allen, 46 is second X. We'll get him over to third. Runner goes to third on the grounder to second. With 2 outs, it's Ken Henderson. We haven't showed you any cards in this 1-zip game. Let's show you Henderson here. Great performance in 74. Wish you could have done this more frequently. 20 homers for a switch hitting center fielder with 35 doubles. Great glove, great arm, 292 average. The, as we call it, 5-tool guy. Big moment here. Needs some insurance in a 1-0 game. The pitch to Ken Henderson. 48 is a fly ball to left field, making Larry Gurr look way too good. Top of the 7th. Now, This could be the go right to Gossage situation in a 1-0 game, because you figure Wood will probably throw a complete game in a Game 7 if you get to Game 7. So Gossage, the phone is ringing in the pen already in the 7th inning. The Royals do still have the 4 lefties in their lineup: Dwyer, Kirkpatrick, Mayberry, Brett. You'd like to have gotten Dwyer out of the lineup, but you didn't. Jack Heidemann leads off in the 7th. 6-11 left X, and here's Carlos May trying desperately to catch a fly ball, and he does. Not bad. Cookie Rojas. 2-9 is a pop to third, and here is Brett. Do you do it now? Do you pull Bart with 1 out to get in the 7th inning? That'd be some serious cojones, wouldn't it? Because you got lefty, righty, lefty, righty, lefty. So 3 of the next 5 batters are lefties. He's done the magic trick here. He got 7 outs to get. I'm going Terry Forster. We're going to do it. 1-0 game. You already got the gift to lead. We're going to pull Bart with 2 outs in the 7th inning, because we want to get the lefty Forster in the game. And keep improving. You go from Bart Johnson's 2.73 ERA to Terry Forster's 2.25 ERA, and then Gossage's 1.84. So you got to sweat this thing out and have Wilbur Wood in Game 7. So that's what it'll be. It'll be Terry Forster. Let's take a look at this Forster card. Yep, 6-5, 2.25 ERA, and 72 in 100 innings. Again, he cannot surrender a homer to a left-handed batter. He will pitch to Brett, Piniella, and Mayberry, and then Otis won't face a lefty. They'll go to Gossage for the rest of the game at that point. So here is the pitch. Put a GB here. To George Brett. 1-6. Well, against a righty, it's 1-1 to 17. Against a lefty, it's 1-1 to 9. Gets it anyway. So he's just going to get the triple. Doesn't matter if you throw lefty or righty. So Brett's at third with 2 outs. You could walk Piniella to face Mayberry, but yeah. Forster doesn't give up homers to righties either. Piniella doesn't hit a lot of homers. So I think you just battle Piniella here with 2 outs and a man at third. Here's the pitch. 1-7. It doesn't matter. Piniella hits off his card like Brett does. Double 1 to 4. We got a tie game. And it's John Mayberry with a runner at first and 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Mayberry. 49, single on a 1, lines out on a 4. So Gossage will come in, in the 8th inning for Otis, the righty, because he crushes lefties. Once we get there. Now the question is, do you take Gurra out so he can't lose? You got Melton, Bry, Stinson, Dent. You're trying to win the series 4 games to 2. You don't want to face Wilbur Wood. You'd like to get the road W here. I'm thinking they're going to pull him too. Gurra's gone. They're going to go Horatio Pena, and you'll see why. One of the 2 best pitchers in the Kansas City pen. Pena dominates right-handed batters. Gives up walks to lefties. 6-3 with a 2.76 ERA. But they have Bill Melton, Bry, Stinson, and Dent coming up. So it'll be Bill Melton leading off in the 7th. 2-10, grounds the pitcher. Steve Bry. You could pull him and go to the lefty Orta or Muser. By the way, Horatio Pena in the one other start where he pitched 3 innings, 6.5 on his card. His homer won a 16, fly ball the rest, and the White Sox missed that twice in an extra inning game, rolling an 18 and a 19. So that's staggeringly bad luck. We're taking our shot here with George Orta. He's going to pinch hit for Steve Bry. Orta in 74, 316 average and 10 home runs. And Pena, you've got to get as many lefties as you can into the lineup while Pena's on the mound. So here's the pitch to George Orta. 2-9, grounds to second base. And with 2 outs, left-handed switch-hitting catcher Bob Stinson. 59 is a strikeout, missing the column. So, Bry, we lost an outfielder. We do have Buddy Bradford can go into the outfield. It's only a question of which spot we want to put him in. We have Stinson and Brian Downing both in the game, so we could take either out. Downing's got a -1 arm. I'd rather leave him in there in case the Royals want to steal bases. Stinson just batted, so yeah. We'll do that. Bradford will go into Stinson. Bradford will go in for Stinson playing the outfield. Order will just be a DH. We'll leave Dent at second and Aparicio at short. In a 1-1 game in the 8th inning, and now it's Gossage for 4, and hopefully you can win it before his 4 innings are up. So Rich Gossage is coming on in the 8th inning, down 3-2 in the series. This isn't a save situation. We're tied. And that's how desperate it's gotten for the White Sox, who got a gift run here. And here we are in the 8th. Amos Otis leading off against Gossage. 4-4, that's a homer against most guys. Here it's catcher's X against Gossage. And Downing's a 2E5. Makes the play. Ed Kirkpatrick. 2-7 is a K. Fran Healy. 1-7's a walk. Wish we could have gotten Dwyer out of the game, as he's a one-way player, but he gets a swing here against Gossage. 110, let's take a look at the Jim Dwyer card. A nice little free agent addition. 1974 was a pinch hitter for the Cardinals. Had a nice long career for the Red Sox and Expos and the Orioles. 279 bat here. One-way player, decent defense. 110 is single ... Runners on the corners, 2 outs. And Gold Glover, Jack Heidemann. Let's look at this card. So Patek had the starting shortstop job, but then we put Heidemann in for batting average, and we realized his defense, which should have been suffering, wasn't suffering. Heidemann, also a pinch hitter for the 74 Cardinals, hit 271 and 70 at-bats. Oddly enough, Dwyer and Heidemann would have been consecutive printed Strat-O-Matic cards as the 2 extra players for the 74 Cardinals, and the Royals have them. Runners in the corners, 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Heidemann. 66, and Gossage gets in the swing and miss. Bottom of the 8th. Pena will go 3 innings. You have one more lefty you could bring in, which is Tony Muser. If you bring him in, the only guy you could take out well, you can move Orta. Yeah, Orta would move into second base. You could do it right now. Let's just do that. Bucky Dent will leave. We'll go Tony Muser. So Dent leaves. That means Orta has to play the rest of the game at second base. And they'll exhaust their bench. So Tony Muser, let's take a look at him. They gave Tony power in 73 with 4 homers and 309 at-bats. Both ways. They gave him power both ways. Good fielding, slick fielding first baseman, plus a lefty who can hit lefties. Always good to have. In a tie game, leading off the bottom of the 8th, here's the pitch to Tony Muser. 67 hits the Pena column, but it's single one of 4, and he missed it. Back up top to Brian Downing. 46, pops to second. And with 2 outs, it's Aparicio. 2-7, single one to 16, gets it. And now, Carlos May got to do some damage here. Here's the pitch to Carlos May. 53, right X. But you got Dwyer as a 3E3. That's okay defense, but he makes the catch. My goodness, the White Sox have put every bullet in their whatever you can do trying to get a victory, and it's tied into the 9th. Gossage is in the 2nd inning of relief. It's Cookie Rojas. 38's a single. Brett. 68, Sky's a center. Panella. 67 strikes out. And John Mayberry. 310, flies to right field. That's 2 innings. Pena's 3rd and final inning. Leading off is Dick Allen. 52, flies to right. Ken Henderson. 1-8 is a strikeout. And with 2 outs, it's Bill Melton. 2-4 is a grounder to short. Boy, what a war. So every game, the Royals have taken the White Sox into extra innings every game in Chicago. We go to the 10th. We're going to close out Pena. This is the same thing that happened before. We ran out of innings for Gossage. He's a relief 4. So he's in his 3rd inning now on the top of the 10th. It's Amos Otis. 67's a K. Ed Kirkpatrick. 1-9's a walk. Fran Healy. 312 is a Lomax. So a line drive, the guy got caught napping off of first base. That's 3 innings in the book. Pena's gone. This is I guess the Royals will do their closer thing, Doug Bird. So they're gonna do the same thing with their guy, their only other competent reliever, Doug Bird. He's also relief 3. Every time they've done this, the White Sox have scored the winning run with 2 outs. So they're going to try it for the 3rd time and give Doug Bird his 3rd loss in the series. Doug Bird, 4-4 with a 2.99 ERA in 102 innings in 1973. Outstanding closer. But he's been through this. This is the 3rd time. Will 3rd time be the charm for Doug Bird? Can he get through one of these, his initial inning of relief, and keep the White Sox, prevent the White Sox from a walk-off? It's Orta, Bradford, and Muser. If you're wondering why not bring in the lefty Joe Horner, it's because he's awful. He's just awful. So, yeah. Here is George Orta. 57's a K. Buddy Bradford. 311's a walk. Runner at first, 14 base runner. It's Tony Muser. 610, 3rd X, but Brett is a 1 E25. Has to be an error. That's the only way to, and that's a double play. Is this the 4th inning now? 3rd inning. 3rd inning for Gossage or 4th inning? This is the, yeah, 8th, 9th, 10th. Yep, 4th and final inning for Gossage. But they do have Lemons and Garman, who are competent at least. It's Jim Washer Dwyer leading off. 69, 2nd. Jack Heidemann. 39, short. And Cookie Rojas. 38 is a single. B. Steeler. Do you try a steal here? Why not? Try a stolen base. He's out stealing. Oh, well. Yeah. Try something. This is an ugly pitcher's duel. So we're going to close the books on Gossage there as well. 4 innings of relief. And you got to hope you can win this game, and Wilbur Wood throws a complete game in Game 7. Bird in his 2nd inning of relief. In the bottom of the 11th. It'll be the top of the lineup, Brian Downing. 2-4. Sky's the center. Aparicio. 46. 1-1 fly ball. No gift there. And with 2 outs, Carlos May. 2-7's a single. Are we stealing? I think we are. We got to do something here. And a 15. This is going to be close. He's out stealing. Oh my goodness. Couldn't get in a scoring position. And that's 2 innings for Bird. 11 in the books. We go to the 12th. It's Piniella, Mayberry, Otis, Kirkpatrick. 2 of the 4. The next 3, you have to do the lefty. Anticipating Dwyer will probably bat in this inning and get him out of there. So Lemons will start the 12th. Still, they still have the advantage in relief. Lemons and Garman aren't bad at all. We'll start with Dave Lemons. 4-7 in 72 with a 2.94 ERA in 95 innings. Obviously better against lefties, and we'll face 2 of them, maybe 3. Dave Lemons in the... Actually, you know what? Brett leads off. Even better as far as lefties go. He'll face 3 out, potentially 4 lefties in the next 2 innings if it goes that far. Rojas attempted that stolen base, so Brett was in the batter's box. So he returns to the batter's box to face a different pitcher, a lefty. So Lemons has to battle Brett here in the top of the 12th inning. Here's the pitch. 1-6. Well, hit it again. Last time he got the triple, and triple 1-9. He misses it and gets a double. Lou Piniella. No. Are we bunting Piniella? Are we at that point? Not with a lefty backing him up. Then you could walk Otis to get to a lefty Kirkpatrick. No, I gotta take my swings here. We're playing with house money with Kansas City. We're up 3-2 in the series. So Pinella's gonna swing away. He's a 3-12 hitter, so he's not bunting. Here's the pitch. 2-5, grounds are short. That didn't work because Brett's still stuck at second. Now you got Mayberry. 43 off Lemon's first X. You got Muser, a 2 first baseman, a 2E14. Makes the play. But Brett's at third. I think I see an intentional walk of Otis. They're going to walk Amos Otis. He destroys lefties. And to face the lefty Ed Kirkpatrick. Interesting. Let's take a look at the Kirkpatrick card. The wheels are spinning for both managers here. Kirkpatrick really does well against lefties and righties. And frankly, if you bring a righty in for him, then they're going to go to Mike Garman, a righty. So I'm going to leave Ed Kirkpatrick in there to face Dave Lemons. With runners on the corners, plus you have to hold Otis, or I guess, do you have to hold Otis at first? With runners on the corners and 2 outs, or let him walk to second base to avoid the plus? I mean, 1 run at this point, or 2 runs, doesn't seem to matter against this anemic White Sox offense. So I think they're going to let Otis scoot down to second base. So you're not holding the guy. No throw to second. There's some boos out there in the stands, but base is open, doesn't matter. They're going to go right after Ed Kirkpatrick, and here's the pitch. 56 is a walk. Well, loads the bases anyway. And you got Healy Dwyer with 2 outs. Let's take a look at the Fran Healy card. You know, the bases loaded walk is looking really positive right now for the Royals. And Lemons, yeah, you got to take him out. And I don't know who comes in if this thing goes super long, because I don't think Bradley, Bonson, or Bart, of course, John's started. Wood's pitching tomorrow. So Mike Garman's going to come in the 12th. Fran Healy will be the batter in the 12th. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Mike Garman, let's give you his stats on his card. Mike Garman, acquired out of the Cardinals. 74, 7.2, 263 ERA in 82 innings. Again, the White Sox have an outstanding and deep bullpen, but it's been maxed out every time they trying to win a game here. And the Royals are skating away with basically 2 relief pitchers in use. Here's the pitch to Fran Healy. 53 off Garman is right X. You got a good right fielder. It should be Bradford in right. Yes, Buddy Bradford's a 2E3 in right field. And he makes the grab. Wow. Well, looks like Jim Dwyer will finish the game, as there's no more left-handed pitchers for the White Sox. We're going to put a third there so I can keep track of that. So that's 12 innings for White Sox pitchers. Royal pitchers have pitched 11. Bird in his third and final inning of relief. So it means that the White Sox will, if they don't win it here in the 12th, they'll have to face Gogolewski or Horner in the 13th, which is good news for them. But Dick Allen leads off in the bottom of the 12th. He was in the box when Carlos May got caught stealing. Here's the pitch to Dick Allen. 65 off Bird, rolls to second. Ken Henderson. 110 is a double to right field. We got a runner at second with 1 out. Let's take a look at Bill Melton's card. Big moment for Bill here. 1973, he had 20 home runs and a 276 batting average. I think he was injured in 72, but he comes back with a very nice 73. Chance for him to be a hero. You've got the lefty, Orta, and Bradford on deck, so they'll pitch to Bill Melton. Runner at second, 1 out, the pitch. 66 off Bird is a strikeout. And with 2 outs, it's Orta with a base open. I think you got to walk Orta here with the base open. Intentional walk to Orta to face Buddy Bradford. Let's look at Bradford. You know, Bradford does have a great card against right-handed pitchers, but Bird is much better against righties. And Orta hits about 340, 350 against right-handed pitchers. So they'll deal with Buddy Bradford. Bradford, a 238 hitter, but that's because of the platoon. We have first and second with 2 outs. Buddy Bradford, a chance to be a hero, just like we've said that about so many guys. Here's the pitch. For 5 off a bird, homer 1 to 4, fly ball the rest, and a fly ball the rest. And that's the third and final inning for Bird. We go to the 13th inning, and the shadows have fallen, have creeped across the infield grass. It's Garmin or relief 3. You can't break him in this inning. Dwyer, Heidemann, and the Royals have their entire bench if you want it. You got Bob Oliver, Al Cowens, and Fred Patek if you want it. We go to the top of the 13th inning. It's Jim Dwyer. 1-9 singles. Jack Heidemann is a B bunter. And you got Rojas and Brett coming up. I think I'm going to bunt here. Heidemann will bunt. It's a 4. That's not a single. He's a B. So it's a successful bunt. So the Royals have a runner in scoring position for Cookie Rojas. 56 is a sky to center. And with 2 outs, are you walking Brett here? Yeah, I'm walking him. We're going to walk Brett. God, this is a lot of intentional walks for Strat-O-Matic for me, I tell you, folks. To face the righty Piniella. Here's the pitch to Lou Piniella. 37 is a sky to center field. So that doesn't affect Garmin's point of weakness as well. He's now pitched an inning and a third. All right, folks, who's it going to be? The Royals have to pull a rabbit out of their bullpen. They have 2 lousy guys. We got Muser, Downing, Aparicio, and Carlos May. 2 of those 4 guys are lefties. Oh boy, let's have some Joe Horner fun here. So, you know, it'll be Joe Horner coming in. Probably could have come in earlier if he wasn't so awful, but here he is. Joe Horner. In 72 for the Braves, he was 1-5 with a 4.40 ERA in 45 innings. Gives up a ton of homers to lefties and righties, but he throws with his left arm. And the Royals, unfortunately, they waited late into the draft looking for a lefty reliever, and this is all they could find. So Joe Horner has a chance to be a hero if he can somehow skate out of an inning or 2. Bottom of the 13th, he will face Tony Muser. There is no bench left for the White Sox. It's Muser, then top of the lineup, Downing, Aparicio, and Carlos May. Here's the pitch to Tony Muser. 58 is a K. Back up top to Brian Downing. 1-4, flies to center. And with 2 outs, it's Aparicio. 5-12. The Chicago White Sox could not hit a bull in the you-know-what with a shovel. They simply stink. A gift run here. They have a couple singles, 4 singles and a double in this affair. I think there are fans filing out of the stadium in an extra inning game because they're tired and they want to get a beer or something. I don't know. They want to do something else. This thing has turned into a hopeless situation, just trying to score. We're going to the top of the 14th inning, and now we're in Garmin's breaking inning, and it's going to be Mayberry, Otis, Kirkpatrick. So here's the pitch to John Mayberry. 6-11 up. Garmin, it's pitcher X. He's an E35. He's not helping himself. He makes the error. That's predictable. We actually could have a pinch runner for Mayberry if we want, because we have a really well-rested bench, including a first baseman. He's a 10 runner. Oh, we got Patek. We got Cowens. Let's get some speed in there. Let's go Patek, the pinch run for Mayberry. 17 runner. And Otis, a B-hit runner. I think Otis is going to do a hit and run here with Patek, the pinch runner, at first. Here's the hit and run. Didn't work. He rolls a 10. That's a pop out. And Patek, he's going to try a stolen base. That did work. He steals second. So the hit and run didn't work, but the stolen base did. Runner at second, 1 out. Kirkpatrick with the base open, but it's your breaking inning. If you start putting guys on base now, you're just going to get to your point of weakness quicker. So we'll face Kirkpatrick. 52 flies to right, and with 2 outs, it's Fran Healy with a lefty on deck. So we'll face Healy here. 6-11, pitcher X, and Garmin, an E35 again, makes another error. So his errors have put the runners on the corners with 2 outs for Jim Dwyer, who's actually had a heck of a game. In that he's got 3 hits. You could walk him, because that wouldn't affect the point of weakness, to load the bases for Jack Heidemann or a pinch hitter. You have Heidemann, Rojas, Oliver, and Cowan's on the bench. I think I'm going to walk this guy now. Take my chance. Yeah, he's much better against a right-handed batter. So we're going to walk Dwyer and take our chance. We showed you Heidemann's card, right? Yeah, we'll take our chance with him. It doesn't affect the point of weakness. The only guys to reach were via error. So Jack Heidemann will bat with 2 outs, and here is the pitch. 68, and Garmin gets him to pop to third base. He's now gone 2 1/3 innings. It doesn't mean he's leaving the game. We need a first baseman because we ran for Mayberry, so we'll just stick Bob Oliver over there and put him in Heidemann's spot, and Patek will play defense at short. Joe Horner will continue in his second inning of relief, at least to face Carlos May, and then we'll see what happens after that. We might just go to the Gogolewski after that. Carlos May in the bottom of the 13th. 47 is a base hit. All right, now Horner will leave, so he is responsible for that base runner. They're going to go to Bill Gogolewski. They tried the lefty-lefty, didn't work. Well, yeah. And it's Bill Gogolewski. Last time he was put in this situation, he threw 4 shutout innings. This is one of the longest series I've ever played, as far as extra inning games and just long, drawn-out affairs. Bill Gogolewski, 1973, 3-6 with a 4.22 ERA for your Texas Rangers in 124 innings. We're not going to steal a base this time with nobody out, because Dick Allen, we think he'll hopefully at least draw a walk, if not getting a homer, and he's not going to hit into a double play because he strikes out so much. So Dick Allen will bat here, with Carlos May being held at first base as well. So maybe get a plus in this situation. Here's the pitch to Dick Allen. 49 off of Gogolewski. This could be it. It's triple, 1-3 double. He's got the double. Do you run him? No, you don't. And why do you not run him? Because you got Amos Otis in center. It's a 15 with nobody out. -4 arm makes it an 11. You got 3 cracks to win this game. Second and third, nobody out. Do you just... I don't think you do the intentional walk here because, you know, Melton and Orta could walk and the game's over that way as well. So you'll just pitch to these guys, beginning with Ken Henderson. We saw his card earlier. Second and third, they bring the infield up. Before I start rolling this, just a reminder, we brought in defensive help at short. Patek is playing short instead of Heidemann. So if we get any short X's in this inning, you'll be like, what the heck, right? Ken Henderson, second and third, infield up, nobody out, a pass ball, a sac fly, an error, and the White Sox can force a Game 7. Here's the pitch to Ken Henderson. 210, right B, question mark, do we do it? May's a 15. Dwyer's got a plus we arm, you've got to do this. He scores barely on an 18, it is close. 15, 16, 17, because it's a sac fly. Plus 1 arm of Dwyer made it exactly 18. Dwyer uncorked the throw right on the money. It just wasn't good enough. And that is the sac fly to win this exhausting affair. Carlos May slides home. White Sox walk off the field with the win, but they're not exactly jumping all over themselves, as it took them 14 innings, a 13 1/3 innings, to get a victory to even up the series and bring them back to 500 on the season, worn out their bullpen, forcing Wilbur Wood to throw a complete game in Game 7 regardless of what happens, and being matched up again against Paul Splittorff. So we'll give you the results at the end of this video. Again, the White Sox win this one 2-1 in 14 grueling innings. Mike Garmin pitched 2 1/3 to get the win. Joe Horner gets the loss because he gave up the single to Carlos May to start the inning. And the double, Dick Allen got that double off of Gogolewski's card and the sac fly off of the arm of Jim Dwyer. But that is it. That's the final. We'll give you the results of Game 7 coming up. Stay tuned. All right, baseball fans, here is the box score from that marathon we just played. We have to take a break and color code all the different pitching changes when it goes extra innings and take advantage of every extra space, and turn around. You go 9, 10 innings, and you go back the other direction, filling up every available spot in the spreadsheet when you can. What a mess. 14-inning affair, 2 runs, 7 hits, 5 walks for the White Sox hitters. They reached 12 times. The Royals had 1 run, 12 hits, 8 walks. They reached 20 times in this game, only scored once. So it was really a game the Royals should have probably won somehow. The White Sox offense, just brutal. So what happens in Game 7? Game 7 in Chicago. Battle lefties again. Round 2 of Splittorff and Wilbur Wood. Well, Wilbur Wood probably has a bad pregame meal. He gets a ground out, and then he struggles immediately in the first inning with 1, 2, 3, 4 singles, a sac fly, and a single. 3-0. But it's time for the White Sox to start hitting, you would think. They don't start hitting until the third. They get a single by Downing. After a ground out, an RBI single by Muser. An error by Patek, but Louis Aparicio hits into his second double play, which is, you can't let that happen. Louis, 2 double plays in 3 innings for him. Bottom of the 4th, Steve Bry, the off-season acquisition, had a double. Scored an RBI single by Bill Melton. It's a 3-2 affair, and the White Sox have their chances. In the 7th inning, 3-2 affair as Wilbur Wood has settled down from the first inning. After a strikeout, you get a Brian Downing single, a fly out. Tony Muser walks. Carlos May walks to load the bases with 2 outs. Also, it means Splittorff hits his point of weakness. And you've got Aparicio, a righty, in there against lefty Splittorff. So, Kansas City, Bird's unavailable. Payne is unavailable. Horner and Gogolewski can pitch. Remember, Gogolewski was the pitcher on the mound, but he only went 2/3 of an inning. So he's going to have to pitch the rest of the way unless you want to go Horner here. Gogolewski comes in to face the righty Aparicio. No way. We're pinch hitting George Orta, because like I said, the dude hits 350 versus righties. He rolls a 2-7 and strikes out. Oh, by the way, Louis Aparicio would have singled on that dice roll as a 250 hitter. That's how this White Sox season seems to have gone. They don't score. Wilbur Wood's still battling down a run. He strands the top 2 runners in the 8th. He loads the bases, hits his point of weakness in the 9th, sticks around anyway, and gets Jim Dwyer out to end his 9 innings. But the story of the day, ladies and gentlemen, is Bill Gogolewski. Who? Yeah, Bill Gogolewski, the long man of Kansas City, the de facto closer, because they don't have any available relievers left after all these extra inning games. 3 up and 3 down, 8th inning. After 2 outs in the 9th, pinch hitter Bob Stinson, who has power, rolls off the Gogolewski card. Homer, 1-12, double the rest. Can't hit it. The White Sox have missed 3 Homer 12, Homer 16, Homer 16s. Haven't converted any of those. And then Tony Muser grounds out to end the series. I mean, it's a great competitive series. The Royals finally get a road win, winning Game 7, 3-2. So what does this really mean? Let's look at the overall standings. You see, the Royals are in first. The White Sox are 3 games back and lose the head-to-head tiebreaker. There's still a lot of baseball left. But the White Sox, it's a decent record, 8-9. But every game they've played has been a challenge. And frankly, the offense has stunk up the joint in this series. Let's look at the stats. They're going to tell an ugly story here. Plus, you had that 17-run game, that 17-0 game here. It's going to ruin the team ERA. So your White Sox are down at hitting 260 with a 4.08 ERA. That's just not getting it done. Kansas City's hitting 289. with a 2.59 ERA. Even though Horner and Bird are 0-4, the rest of their pitching staff's 11-2. They having a big year out of Amos Otis. He's got 7 homers, 3 stolen bases, 19 RBI. Mayberry's got 22 RBI. The White Sox, you got 4 homers out of Dick Allen, but he's 18 for 72. And he was pretty quiet in that whole series. He's hitting 250. It's not going to work. Their best hitter is Carlos May, 25 for 70. Yeah, he's tearing it up. But he's not a big run producer. He only has 3 RBI. He's got a homer and 3 RBI and 2 stolen bases. So, yeah, just a really disappointing start in that series for the White Sox. They started the year, look at the schedule again. Actually, I don't have the schedule up on this one. The overall schedule before the All-Star break. Kansas City, they opened up with Boston, swept them, then the Twins, then the White Sox. Kansas City has to play the Reds in the National League North. Then they go to Texas, and then finish with the Brewers. White Sox play the Brewers. They play the Pirates, the world champion Pirates, finish with the Twins. So it's been a brutal schedule for the White Sox. The Orioles, the A's, and the Pirates, all World Series teams on their schedule besides their division. So you got to break it up for the Kansas City Royals. Their time has finally come after a couple of lousy years. They're getting those pieces together to be that team that wins the American League West in the late 70s. They're getting it together now, and they have won this series 4-3. Thanks for checking this out. We'll see you next time.